Wessex blades. Got a couple more tasks to do this afternoon in the garage before I knock off for the day. I've got some scales just to finish up on there, which I've just squared up. Little ideas just for people who've got workshops. I've got a pretty pokey magnet there. I may have mentioned it before. My engineer square just lives there. Same up on my bench drill. I've got an Allen key, and that just literally lives there ready to go. They're really old, so I'm not really going to get much scratched up on the sides because I'm only using that if anybody wants to get too picky about it. But to check things are square, I'm interested in that, and boom, it's there. Boom, it's there. That's done with it. For finishing, I've just come up with this little beauty. I've got papers there that I've cut a strip off on the bandsaw and already marked on the back, because you know what happens when you cut it, you never got the writing on the back. So I've already written on there 280. I think these little things got to 1200, but I just stuck them on a clothes peg onto my 800s. So that now lives with this, and this is the offcut of that. So I sort of 120'd it and trizacked it and knocked the corners off so it's reasonably comfy. And for hand finishing, I prefer this as rather than Corian or phenolic or hardwood. It's just more mass. It's like using a plane. You know, you buy a cheap and cheerful plane. It's nothing like having a Lee Nelson.
It's gorgeous! Oh, wow!
You know, something really expensive and heavy is nice, and that finishing is quite nice. I just double-sided a piece of leather for give, so it's on the big heavy grits you can use that side, like I suppose up to about 180. And when it gets to the finishing, you want a little bit of give on the finer grits. They're just getting all to those little alcoves, so a pad of leather, and then that will live with those all together, neat and tidy. Boom, boom. I don't know what to get, and when they wear out I'll just cut a new section of those out. I was finishing off the sides before I did the hand finishing, so on a trizack I'm sort of starting at 280, I think it is, something like that. But jumping on to 280, 320 is where I can pick up the hand finishing for doing bits and bobs. So yeah, I'm off to do this in a minute, get my mask on, go in, tea time and all the rest of it. But that's the sort of state of affairs at the moment. And there was I asked my missus to go to a shop locally to get a cutlery tray. She said, "Oh, does it have to be plastic?" I went, no, it can be wooden. She had a wooden one hanging around, so I've got like a Jack Law-esque 4-compartment sort of cutlery tray I can put knives in to tote things in and out, because I'm not carrying it. It's not that safe carrying blades. I used to use a tea towel and wrap them up like a tool roll, but this allows me now to put that tray in a drawer of a bureau, and actually it's out of the way. So that's cool. So I'm off now. Thanks for joining me again. Tomorrow, Friday, if everybody's up for it, I think about doing a live YouTube video, 7 o'clock at night. I'll try it. If that's alright, leave a comment on the bottom, and rather than do a live Instagram, which is an absolute pain in the arse, not for myself but for everybody watching, because the bloody signal keeps pegging out, and obviously it's not very conducive to a live when the damn thing just pegs out in terms of its signal strength. But from running it inside, I could do a YouTube live. Just bear in mind I'll be in the house as opposed to in the workshop for questions. I won't be able to do show and tell as much, but I can just answer the odd questions and do, I don't know, a quarter of an hour or something. Anyway, thanks for joining me again. Scott Wessex Blades. Just about to get dusty, so I'm just scuffing those down neat and tidy, checking the bond, but that G-Flex, J-Flex stuff is pretty damn good. It's for boats, so I'm pretty happy with that. It's cool. So I can get exactly 5 minutes. I'll be really skillful. So Scott Williams, Wessex Blades, signing off.